Listen carefully. Do not break this egg. Place it beside your bed tonight. No matter what you hear or feel, do not be afraid. What will happen is a test of faith.
This is the story of Uma, the girl everyone cruelly called bonga fish. She was the first daughter of the late Mr. Okafor. In her early years, Uma was everything people admired. Beautiful, full-figured, graceful, humble, and hardworking. Wherever she went, heads turned and smiles followed. Even her younger sisters secretly wished to be like her. But envy walks quietly. One night, everything changed. Uma went to bed admired and loved. She woke up to a mirror she did not recognize. Her once beautiful, curvy body had turned into a thin, skeleton-like frame. Her strength vanished. Her confidence shattered. By morning, whispers filled the village. The girl everyone envied became the girl everyone mocked. And that was only the beginning of Uma's test. Her body grew thin and bent, her shape uneven, her steps unsure. Women whispered behind their wrappers. Men shook their heads. Children laughed openly. "She looks like a bonga fish," they said. The name spread faster than kindness ever could, and it stayed. Uma grew up hearing it everywhere, at the market, on the road, even near her own home. When she walked past, voices dropped, then rose again in gossip the moment she was gone. She had two sisters. They were everything Uma was not. Full curves, smooth skin, loud laughter that drew attention. Wherever they went, eyes followed. Compliments fell at their feet like flowers. Uma walked behind them, always behind. "Don't walk close to us," her sisters would snap. "People will laugh." So Uma slowed her steps. Sometimes she stopped completely, pretending to look at the ground until they were far ahead. Yet she never hated them. Her heart was soft. Her smile stayed, even when it hurt. She greeted people who insulted her. She helped those who mocked her. She carried water, swept compounds, and shared food when she had little. But inside her chest, something felt hollow. Each evening, when the sun turned orange, Uma went to the mango tree beside their house. It was old and wide, its roots deep in the earth. She sat there alone, hugging her knees. Tears soaked the soil beneath her. "Why am I different?" she whispered. "What did I do wrong?" The leaves rustled. The wind passed, but no answer came. That night, as Uma lay on her mat, she felt a strange heaviness in the air, like the world was holding its breath. And for the first time in her life, Uma felt that her tears had been noticed. Morning came with noise and laughter, but none of it belonged to Uma. Her sisters stood before the mirror, adjusting their clothes, admiring their curves. Their voices were sharp and proud. "Everyone was looking at me yesterday," one said, smiling. "They always do," the other replied. Uma swept the floor quietly behind them. "Make sure you finish before we return," one sister warned. "And don't sit under that mango tree again. People will think we are like you." Uma nodded without lifting her head. At the market, the sisters walked proudly ahead. Women praised them. Men smiled. Some even stopped to greet them with gifts. Uma followed, carrying baskets too heavy for her thin arms. A woman pointed at her and laughed. "That one again? Why does she always smile like she's not ashamed?" Another replied, "Maybe she doesn't know how she looks." The sisters heard and said nothing. That afternoon, Uma washed clothes by the stream until her fingers hurt. When she returned home late, her sisters were already eating. "You're slow," one said, "and ugly people shouldn't be lazy," the other added. Uma said nothing. She simply washed her hands and waited until they were done to eat what was left. That evening she returned to the mango tree. Her tears came quickly now. "I try to be good," she whispered. "Why am I still rejected?" Above her, the mango leaves shook gently. Far away, on the dusty road leading into the village, an old figure moved slowly, step by step, toward Uma's destiny. The sun was low when Uma went to the stream. She walked quietly, calabash balanced on her head, her thoughts heavy. The cool water touched her hands, calming her heart for a moment. When she was done, she lifted the calabash and began the journey home. Halfway down the dusty road, she heard a weak sound. "My daughter?" Uma stopped. At the side of the road lay an old woman. Her clothes were torn. Dust covered her skin. Her body trembled as if life was slowly leaving it. "My daughter?" the woman whispered again. "Please help me." People had passed earlier. No one stopped. Uma did. She dropped her calabash and rushed to the woman. Gently she lifted her head and brought water to her lips. "Drink slowly," Uma said. The old woman drank and sighed deeply. Uma cleaned her wounds with her wrapper and helped her sit against a tree. "Why would you help me?" the woman asked softly. "People laugh at you every day." Uma smiled. "Pain understands pain." The old woman looked at her closely, really looked at her, not her body, not her shape, but her eyes. "You are rich in spirit," the woman said. She reached into her wrapper and brought out something wrapped in cloth. Uma's heart began to beat fast. The cloth opened slowly. Inside the cloth was an egg. It was smooth and warm, unlike any egg Uma had ever seen. A soft glow rested on its shell, gentle but alive. The old woman placed it carefully into Uma's hands. "This is not an ordinary egg," she said. "It carries what your life has been waiting for." Uma's fingers trembled. "Why are you giving this to me?" The woman smiled faintly. "Because you stopped when others walked away." She leaned closer. "Listen carefully. Do not break this egg. Place it beside your bed tonight. No matter what you hear or feel, do not be afraid. What will happen is a test of faith." Before Uma could ask another question, the wind rose suddenly. Dust filled the air. Uma covered her eyes. When the dust settled, the old woman was gone. Only the egg remained. Uma stood there for a long moment, her heart racing. Then she picked up her calabash and walked home, holding the egg tightly to her chest. That night, after everyone slept, Uma placed the egg beside her mat, just as she was told. The room grew strangely quiet. Then the egg began to glow brighter. The glow filled the room. Uma's heart pounded as light danced across the walls. Outside, the wind rose suddenly, rushing through the village like a warning. Then came the thunder, not from the sky, but from the ground. The earth shook, pots fell, dogs barked wildly. People woke up screaming. Uma clutched her mat, fear tightening her chest. Every part of her wanted to run, to cry out for help, but she remembered the warning. Do not be afraid. She closed her eyes and stayed still. The egg vibrated beside her. Light burst from it, warm and powerful. The room felt alive, breathing with her. Just before dawn, silence. No wind, no light, no sound. Uma opened her eyes slowly. The egg was gone, and something had changed. Morning came quietly. When Uma stood up, her body felt light, strong in a way it had never been before. She looked down and froze. Her arms were smooth, her legs were straight, her body was whole. Uma rushed outside. Sunlight touched her skin, and it glowed. Her hair fell softly over her shoulders. She was tall, beautiful, and radiant. People gasped. "That can't be Uma," someone whispered. "Is that really her?" Her sisters stepped forward and stopped cold. Their mouths opened, but no words came out. The girl they mocked stood before them, glowing with grace. Soon the entire village gathered. Silence fell where laughter once lived. Men came forward, one after another, asking for her hand in marriage, not only because of her beauty, but because peace followed her steps. There was something different about her, a blessing. Uma smiled gently, but inside her heart, another test waited. Because beauty was easy, forgiveness was not. The village did not sleep that night. People gathered around Uma's house, whispering in awe. The same mouths that once mocked her now spoke her name with respect. Gifts were brought, promises were made. Men waited, hoping she would choose them. But Uma sat quietly beneath the mango tree. The same tree that had held her tears now felt warm and familiar. Her sisters approached her slowly. Their heads were bowed. Shame sat heavily on their faces. "We are sorry," one whispered. "We treated you badly," said the other. Uma looked at them for a long moment. She remembered the laughter, the insults, the loneliness. Then she smiled. "I forgive you," she said softly. Tears filled their eyes. From that day, Uma's life became a testimony. She used her blessing to lift others, especially those who felt rejected and forgotten. The village learned a hard lesson. True beauty is not shaped by the body, it is formed by the heart. The egg had changed Uma's body, but her kindness had already changed her destiny. Moral lesson: those who remain kind in rejection will be rewarded in due time.